Let me be the first to congratulate you on taking the first step to really start upping your video production quality. What you'll be learning today are 3 steps, 3 items that many people overlook or just don't get right, and it's negatively affecting their videos. After watching this video and implementing what you learn, you'll already be head and shoulders above the vast majority of video creators out there. Without further ado, let's bring it over to Chris in the studio. Today I'll be going over 3 things that are critical to creating great video content on your own. We'll be looking at content, capturing good audio, so important yet shockingly overlooked, and B-roll, what it is, how to get it, how to use it. Now that you know what you're in for, strap in, prepare to take some notes, and you'll be well on your way to creating better video content immediately. Jumping right in, content. You have to ask yourself, why should someone care? What's in it for them? Information, a story, an emotion? Like the saying goes, content is king. And with the non-stop advances in camera technology, it's becoming very easy for anyone to create impactful video content. You just need to hone the story, the message. I can't stress enough how important this is. Before you start, be very clear on the message you want to get across and who your audience is. Stick to one main message or topic per video. And as for how long it should be, tell the entire story, then quickly bow and get off the stage. Get to the point quickly and make sure you deliver on what you're promising in your video's title. One of the few times it's acceptable, and even then it's to a degree, to meander around the point a little bit is like a vlog style content or live broadcast on platforms like Facebook Live and Instagram. Speaking of which, create content for the medium it's going to be displayed on. Are you planning a mobile only audience and are only creating for IGTV, for example? I'm going against what I used to say all the time, but shoot vertical. If the audience will consume the content in a vertical way, plan and shoot for that. Now, that being said, if you're also going to be publishing on places like YouTube or Vimeo, traditional spaces to upload content, film it horizontally, but keep in mind you're going to be modifying it while editing specifically for uploading natively to those vertical friendly platforms. Side note, if editing makes you nervous, hang out to the end. You're also going to want to think about your tone, not just your tone of voice, which you should be paying a lot of attention to, but the overall tone of the video. Are you playful? Are you serious? Are you humorous? Know your brand, whether it's a company brand or your personal brand, and know who your target audience is. You have a different tone speaking to an all-female 18 to 25 demographic than you would males 55 to 64, for example. And it's okay to use humor if you know your target audience and if you know how you want to be perceived. During the content stage, the all-important call to action is determined. This is what you want them to do as a result of watching the video. Do you want them to visit a website, buy an ebook, donate towards your crowdfunding campaign, subscribe? Tell them what the next step is, but limit it to one step. We'd love to show you why we're the best coffee shop in town. Stop in and say hi. So focus heavily on your content. Don't overanalyze it either, but you need to get this refined so your videos have maximum impact for their intended purpose. All right, next up, super critical, audio. Good audio is massively important. For the most part, your audience will forgive less than stellar video quality, but audio must always be as crystal clear as possible. You could be shooting in standard definition with okay lighting, but solid audio, and people will watch. If you're shooting in a studio with professional lighting, but bad audio, people are gonna bounce. Don't compromise on audio. Be aware of the sound of the space that you're shooting in, and get a decent pair of headphones so you can listen critically. Is there an echo? Is there white noise like an air conditioner or a fan? Once you found a quiet place or have made it quiet by temporarily turning off the AC or the fan or closing the window or even unplugging the refrigerator, make sure it stays quiet while you film. Put your phone on silent or better yet, airplane mode during filming, and make sure that everyone else in the room does the same. A phone interrupting a shoot wastes everybody's time and it kills what could have been a perfect take. If you're in a location with other people like an office, a simple filming in progress sign will do wonders to keep people from barging in and interrupting you. So print that thing out, slap it on the door or the nearby immediate area. It may actually work so well that you might want to keep it up on your office door long after you've finished. If you're on a tight budget, here are 2 fantastic and inexpensive options for mics. The Rode SmartLav plugs into the headphone jack of a smartphone, and the wire runs to your talent and clips to their shirt near their mouth. It should be about a fist's distance from their mouth. So your lav mic, here's about a fist below the mouth. This is probably a good spot for placement for the lav, right about here. the Rode VideoMic Me is a tiny shotgun mic that also plugs into the phone's headphone jack, picking up just the sound in front of it. It does have limited range. You want to be as close to your subject as possible with that shotgun, or really any shotgun mic, and always point the mic directly at the subject's mouth. If you're filming two people talking, point the mic at the space in between them to pick them both up as equally as you possibly can. If you have a little bit more you can spend, check out the Azden Pro XD, which is a wireless lav system that works a lot like the Smart Lav, except instead of plugging it into your phone and then having to sync it up in post-production, it has a transmitter, and that goes wirelessly to a receiver on the camera, and it goes right into the camera, assuming, of course, you've got a mic in jack on said camera. And for a shotgun mic, the Azden SMX30 is actually two mics in one with a stereo pickup or a directional mono shotgun mode. Now, full disclosure, I've done work with Azden specifically for this mic, but that said, it's because I've loved this mic long before that relationship started, and I really would recommend this thing to anybody. Links are below for all the mics that I'm recommending. Now, make sure while you're filming, you or someone else is monitoring the audio always. I mean, do mic checks before hitting record, but many a take has been ruined because somebody forgot to turn the mic on or plug it in, or if the mic is battery powered, partway through the shoot, the battery dies. So you don't want that. Focus hard on nailing down great audio, and your audience is going to thank you, and they'll actually stick around. All right, B-roll. When you're editing, it is your bestest friend. B-roll is the additional footage, aside from the talking head, that helps us tell your story, keep the viewer engaged, and also it helps to hide your edits. It's not the additional camera angle that you might be rocking, although those do help hide your edits. For example, a camera review that I did a while back on my YouTube channel, there was a part where I was talking about the manual audio controls on the camera body. After I shot the talking part of the review, I went back and I shot the close-ups I knew I'd need later. Now, this shot here of the audio controls gives the viewer additional detailed info and also helps hide a cut I made in the edit. Your B-roll could be the exterior shots of the particular building where you're shooting, shots of the talent at their desk working, or clips of whatever's being talked about. Get creative. You'll be happy you got the extra footage. You can get establishing shots showing the entire location. Drones are perfect for this. Just with drones, real quick aside, check your local laws in the country and jurisdiction, obtain clearance from nearby airports if needed, but that's, again, assuming you have something like that, like a drone. Close-ups are also obviously very popular. You want to think of everything from establishing shots all the way to close-ups, everything in between. Like a long shot of the subject where you see the entire subject, but not necessarily the whole location around them. A medium shot where you're a bit closer, and then of course, close-ups. Now, with B-roll, there's many ways to go about it. Aside from typical handheld or tripod shots, you can also employ all kinds of tricks and toys to get dynamic, interesting-looking shots. Camera sliders, jibs, stabilizers, and of course, drones can all produce amazing B-roll. That said, do not get caught up in the gear. It's just a tool to help you tell your story, and never think you can't create good content simply because you don't have a nice slider. Work with what you have, and if you can't spring for more gear, save up for it or make do with what you have. Use shallow depth of field and change the focus to bring attention to the subject of the shot, and employ blocking to create some visual interest. The way I typically do it with unscripted content, or generally unscripted, like when the talent's using an outline of points to hit, is to film the person or people talking first in their entirety, then capture whatever B-roll is needed to help tell the story based on what they were talking about. Especially if you're at a location far from where you live, get 10 times more B-roll than you think you need. Often it's a big hassle to get back to that location later to capture the B-roll that you should have gotten on the day. Be mindful of the shots you need to help tell a story in an engaging way. Those 3 areas of focus will get you well on your way to creating solid content today. But it doesn't end there, and I've got you covered. If you liked what you learned today, my company, Studio 12 Academy, has a course you'll really want to dig your teeth into. 8 steps to creating amazing video on a tiny budget. Here's what's going to be covered. Session 1, content. An even deeper dive into what we went over here. Session 2, gear. I'll be talking smartphones, DSLRs, camcorders, mirrorless, action cams. You'll learn how to get the best possible image out of the camera you already own. And it's going to be a great way to see which is best for you. So if you've just got, for example, just a smartphone now, after this lesson you might think, a DSLR is a good next step. Next, how the image looks. Frame composition and lighting. Again, this is assuming you're on a budget, so we're not talking crazy lighting rigs or anything like that, but things that are readily available in your home, your local Home Depot, or inexpensive lighting kits that won't break the bank, but will bring your quality to another level. Next up is audio. You got a taste of it in this video, but it's going to be a deeper dive with more audio samples from a variety of microphones, the best situation to use which one, and a lot more. Next, directing. You don't have to be Spielberg to direct talent. And in this session, I show you how. The majority of people in front of your camera, yourself included, may not be used to being on camera. I totally get it. I've been filming people since 2005 in many settings, the vast number of which are super uncomfortable in front of a lens. I'll be going over my tried and true hacks I've learned over the years to get people comfortable and lower their anxiety levels before, during, and after a shoot. In session 6, we're taking a more detailed look at B-roll. I'll also be showing you exactly how to get free and affordable professional B-roll that you can use, as well as various methods for you to capture it if you don't have the means to run out and buy a camera jib or other fancy gear. Alright, next one's a big one. Session 7 is the basics of editing your footage to look its best. It's not just cutting to craft your story, but also some ways to correct a few common mistakes made during production. We'll also be working with Adobe Premiere, although a lot of the concepts can be used with Final Cut, Sony Vegas, or whatever non-linear editing system that you're using. Lastly, Session 8 is all about uploading and distributing. If you're not doing this step right, you'll have the best video nobody's ever seen. Vimeo, YouTube, what settings do you use to make the video look its best on whatever platform you've decided on? How do you export and upload native vertical video? Where should you post and when? That's all covered. If that sounds awesome to you, click the link below. If you apply what you learn, I promise it will change your video quality forever and you'll be stoked with the results. Click the link below to register, but act fast. The first 50 students who sign up are automatically entered to win the carbon fiber slider that I use, courtesy of our friends at Digital Juice. Also included will be the remote control and motor unit, a total value of $668. I want to keep the odds pretty good for the quickest among you, so you should move quickly. I'll see you there.